Howdy, folks. This is Billy Blackman, the A1 American Negro, also known as the Mahogany Patriot. This podcast, we're just going to have a little bit of fun with it, see how fast, how long it goes. And if you get tired of it, we won't do it. But if you like it, we'll keep on going with it. And basically, we're going to talk about some political topics, things that are going on in our culture, things that affect us as citizens, Americans, just folks with sense. So our goal is to educate and perhaps, if you don't want to be educated, to irritate you. So I can do both, so we're going to have a little fun. One thing I want to talk about in this opening podcast is this thing called the cancel culture. And I have my phone here. I'm going to read the definition to you. It is a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, whether it be online, on social media, or in person, i.e., with this movement to rename military bases, because after 100+ years, we have found that these men were not perfect. So now we want to erase them from history. Such as your boss doesn't believe in your political views or your religious views, so they want to fire you or to put you off somewhere. We see this going on with social media. Someone posts something that is deemed racist or incendiary, so people block it. And they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want an opposing view, an alternate view. And we see it happening everywhere. And you can't even go to the grocery store without saying it. I brought in some family members, if you would. I brought in my aunt. Here she is. I'm going to bring her up. Aunt Jemima. Everybody has tasted, what's the old song? Nothing could be finer than the taste of Aunt Jemima in the morning. Well, you can still get that same sweet taste, but you won't see her sweet black face because they erased her off. Because many years ago, we had people in this country called slaves and slave owners. And people feel guilty about that. When my view is, if you don't enslave me, I don't have a problem with you. I don't see why poor old Aunt Jemima should have to pay because people feel bad about what their ancestors did. If you feel so bad about it, you don't do it. Don't do the modern equivalency of it. You see a black person, you be decent to them. You see a white person, you be decent to them. How about you just be decent? But erasing history is not going to do anything about it. I brought another friend, a lovely lady. I found her on the lake, the Land O'Lakes lady. Holy smokes. You say, Billy, she's not there. She isn't. They erased her right off. It's just a lake now because people feel guilty because of how the Indians were treated. And were they treated right? No. But erasing them from history does not undo it. Neither does, I can't even find this t-shirt anymore. I wore it on purpose, the Indians, because they've been erased, because people feel guilty of how they've treated them. You cannot erase the past by erasing the past. You erase the past by making the future better. You do better than your forefathers did. You do better than your predecessors did. You don't just pretend that it didn't happen. That just makes you delusional. That just makes you a liar. And lastly, well, for the family members, I brought my uncle in. Uncle Ben. Now, they're going to come for him sooner or later because, well, just look at him. They're going to come and they're going to get him. But same great taste, different face. Not cool. Leave him alone. But I got a lovely lady here who I think is going to be safe. I don't think they're going to come and get her. She makes the greatest oatmeal ever. Wait. Holy smokes, that's a guy? This cat either needs to get a haircut or grow a beard. But I think my man is safe. It seems that all these cancel culture people want to do is erase certain types of faces, certain types of people. I find that disturbing. What happens when you or I become the certain type that they want to erase? What if they say, Billy, you shouldn't have a podcast, so we're going to block you. We're going to erase you. We're going to get rid of any kind of a disagreement that you could rise on our behalf. You're gone. What happens if there's a football player who wants to pray on the sideline and all of a sudden he can't find a job? What happens if there's a businessman who wants to be president and is doing a mighty fine job, but They just don't want him around anymore. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink or something. Just in case you didn't know who I was hinting about there. What happens if you fit into the mold that they don't like? What happens when they want to erase you? And that's why this thing is so dangerous. Because number one, by erasing your past, you don't learn from it. You're just going to repeat it. By erasing the present, it just means you get rid of people that you don't like or you don't agree with. That's not what our country's about. Our country is about different people from different places that have different faces coming together and getting along. Not, you got to see it my way or you're gone. That's not what it's about. So I guess if I could put it into a brief phrase, I think if the cancel culture was going to cancel something, maybe they should cancel themselves. Getting along is what people were made to do. So, hey, not bad for one out the gate. So, Billy Blackman, first podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't come back next time because it's more of the same. So anyway, that's what we do. We're going to educate. We're going to educate. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So, until next time, be good, be safe, be smart.